Hey, great day to you all. I hope that this morning you woke up super grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. You know, the magic is happening, on a daily basis. And the shifts are real, whether you believe it or not. But we are in an ever-changing, ever-evolving world. And I personally love it. I love it. I'm so grateful every day when I open my eyes and say, yes, I'm here again another day. And you know, factually, I love the fact that I'm not limited by anything. You know? Because in actuality, guys, we only set our own limits. And it is exactly what you believe it to be. So, if you sit there telling yourself that something's not possible, you know, I hear so many people say it, When I tell people something, they say, oh, that's not possible. That can't happen. Oh, I can't do that. And I'm like, why the fuck not? Seriously. Like, people don't really understand that it is only their own being that stops them. People don't realize that they're sick because of how they treat their own being. What do I mean? Well, hey, if you choose to hang on to past emotions that are stored in your body, and if you choose to hang on to remorse, regret, shame, blame, guilt, and all of those lowered vibrations, that automatically throws you out of your thriving as an individual. You see, there's two states that you can be in as you function in your life. You can either be living it to its fullest capacity and with your fullest power, or you can be surviving life with your fullest power. It's a mere choice. So when you say to yourself, hey, why would I not want to use my fullest power to get the most out of my human experience? You know, don't limit yourself by believing you can't do anything, because you can do absolutely anything. But what do you really want to do? So sometimes in life, yeah, we're distracted by 1,000,001 things. We really are. But there's nothing that's going on in your experience that matters more than you being okay, number one. You being able to get the most out of your experience, number two. How do you do that? Well, you got to rid yourself of anything lower density vibration. Really. Because if we are in a thriving, ever-evolving universe, and our creative power that we innately have, so much so that it functions our whole body on its own, that's something that you don't have to think about. That's something that you don't have to be involved in. That's something that harmoniously works in balance on its own, should you allow it to do so. And this is why I say anybody can heal, no matter who you are. But the key to healing is finding that balance within, and finding and tapping into the thriving, innate power that you do have. Because we all have it. If you woke up today, you're fueled by the same thing I am, which is running and operating your whole experience, even down to your bodily functions. Now, that amount of power, tapped in with your thoughts, is either going to create survival mode for you or a thriving mode. You know, and I believe anybody and everybody can turn surviving into thriving. very easily with a mere simple choice. A lot of people say, yeah, right, Toby. You know, do you know how many people have told me easier said than done? You know what? If I adopted that theory, I wouldn't be sitting here today to tell you guys about anything. Okay? This power, I had to prove to myself that this was even possible before I came out and even ever spoke about it. I don't believe in sharing things that I don't believe in wholeheartedly. And if I'm sitting here today, full power, healed, well, you know, it's possible for everybody. But a lot of people get comfortable in not feeling okay. Why? Because they've never really genuinely felt good. Seriously. They've been surviving life so long that they genuinely don't know what it feels like to feel good within themselves. Well, I'm going to say something. That feeling of feeling great and feeling capable and feeling deserving, the moment that you tap into that and decide that for yourself, never again will you embody any other kind of frequency. Things will happen. That's normal. That's life. That's experience. And no matter what's happening outside of you, it's to actually give you skills. Yeah. Skills and learning and know-how that you would not acquire if you do not live these experiences. So you have to live, and you have to experience all kinds of magnitudes of different experiences for learning. But you don't say that you can't learn or you can't do something. You learned how to walk. You learned how to talk. You learned how to shit and piss on the toilet. Right? You learned how to take care of yourself. You learned how to shower. You learned how to eat. You learned how to cook. You learned how to drive. You learned how to trust your abilities. Well, where did that go? That's what you got to ask yourself. Where did my thriving go? Well, you still have it. Believe it or not. No matter how you're feeling today. You still have it. That's what's fueling you. The power of what's giving you life makes everything possible for you. How can you deny that power exists within you? You can't. Denial does nothing for you. You need to own your power of your being. Tapping into that power functions everything for you in your life. You can't deny it exists. But are you using it to your full benefit and advantage? You have to ask yourself that. And if you're not, why not? Why would you be any less deserving of anything than all the power that you put into everything else? The same fuel that you put into everything else, you should be putting into your wellness, your balance, your healing, and your thriving. Nobody needs to survive life at all, no matter what they're living. You see, when you're surviving life, you feel like a victim. Nobody's a victim in this experience. Believe it or not, we all chose to be here for the greatest magical show ever on earth. Really. And what is that? Well, the Great Awakening. And this great shift that's happening on the planet. And with the heightened elevation of the frequency on the planet, with the planet and then the collective on the planet, this level of consciousness and heightened frequency has never been felt by humanity. Wow. The shifts are real. I'm excited. This is the biggest show ever on Earth. Literally. And 2024 is going to be a magical year in totality. It already has been, up until now, a very magical year. Now, anything that you choose to do for yourself, you have to eliminate the doubt, the fear, the shame, the guilt, the blame, all of that. Look, your body is not doing that to you while it's functioning. So the power that's given you life and that's fueling every automatic function in your body is not doubting you, is not shaming you, is not blaming you, it's not judging you. Because had it been judging you or doing any of the above, well, I highly doubt you would have woken up today, because there's not one person on the planet who is the best person they can genuinely be. Because we're all on a learning experience. It wouldn't be called a life experience if it wasn't just a mere experience. You see? And it is quite the experience, magically, should you allow it to be. All the time, no matter what. You know, I'm going to say it again. There's a lot of things that people are feeling that they believe powerless to, but they have created for their own self. By their own thoughts, by their own actions, by their own ways. And they believe that these are all situations and circumstances and everything that is out external. But it's not. These situations have been created within their own beings. By their own thoughts, by their own words, and by their own actions. So, if you're wondering why you're feeling the way you do, stop and take a look at what you're actually telling yourself. And what you have been telling yourself. You know, this is why it's very important for people to, anybody who really wants to gain the control over their being, they really take a look at themselves and become self-aware. To the point that they realize that they're the ones that are creating what they're feeling by their thoughts, by what they say. What do I mean by that? Well, you cannot feel as a whole, powered up person if you are telling yourself diminishing thoughts. Okay? It's a contradiction to your own being. So, if you tell yourself things that are not uplifting, if you do not tell yourself things that are empowering, you are going to feel the effects of that. And this is why I've been coming out for more than a year telling you guys, tell yourself good things. And everybody sits there, the majority of people that I speak to. I can hear from what they're telling me why they feel the way they do. I know exactly why they're sick. I know exactly why they have disease. I've been there myself. You don't come back from total organ failure like I have. And you don't refuse amputation for flesh-eating disease like I have. And be able to heal unless you're very real with yourself. And unless you're able to tell yourself empowering things. You cannot heal if you're telling yourself that you're incapable of doing that. You cannot feel better if you insist on commanding and speaking that you are not well. You see, everything we think and say becomes our reality. So what are you commanding to be in your life? You must check that. Okay? It doesn't matter what the experience is. What are you telling yourself about it all? That's key to figuring out why you feel the way you do. Literally. There is nothing more magical than the discovery of self-awareness and the empowerment of that. You know, when you're aware of the power of your being and where you put your attention is where this energy flows to, well, you become very aware about when you put your energy in certain places, exactly how that makes you feel. From these learning examples and situations and experiences, that is when you make choices, conscious choices for your being. Which is, if something doesn't make you feel right, you do not engage with it out of your own self-awareness. Because why would you want to allow anything in your life that does not empower you completely? I know personally I don't. I don't. No people, places, or things in my life that do not bring out the thriving in me. I'm not going to go and put myself in situations or scenarios that are going to make me feel not well or out of balance or out of harmony. Because now that I have healed, I understand the magnitude of the importance of staying balanced. And that's the difference. And you do have the power within you to do absolutely anything that you want. But you have to be self-accountable and self-aware to the point that you make everything and anything happen. But you can do that. How do you start doing that? You start by removing "I can't" from your vocabulary. Why would you think that you can't? Is this a belief that you've come up with on your own? Or is this a belief that's been programmed into your brain? You have to look at that too. It's normal to believe that you can't until you realize that you can. You can do anything. Just like your body is running and functioning automatically, well, the power that you have this automatic power to make everything possible. Just as this automatic power is giving you life. And if you silence your brain and trust that power, it tells you everything. That little voice that you hear, do you trust it? Because that's a part of that power. And that's guidance. That's your higher self talking to you. But are you so distracted from your own being that you don't hear your higher self talking to you? You got to be so self-aware and trusting of yourself that you know that all is possible. Because it is. The universe, in a thriving, energetic influence, knows no suffering, knows no survival. It is our own thinking and brain patterns and ways of being on the planet that cause the suffering. It is not the energetic force that gives us life that does that. That is a thriving, creative, powerful force. which we are all connected to. That force is universal, infinite, unconditional love. There is no survival in that whatsoever. Human beings create survival for themselves by their choices, by their thoughts, their belief systems, the patterns, the generational cycles. Hey, but you can get past all of that. I have. You do not have to stay stuck, harnessed to any belief system that's been handed to you. You do not have to stay stuck at a level of learning that was all lies. No. You can empower yourself, you can learn, and you can trust the power that's fueling you. When you tap into the highest potential of your being, you make everything magically happen with the law of least effort. Nothing is supposed to be effort for us. No. You know this power that gives us life? Do you know that we are supposed to be able to think things into existence like we do? But powerfully as creators? With our thoughts, we're not supposed to be creating survival. It's a total contradiction to what's fueling us and giving us life. Literally. That power runs everything. It's a creative, evolving, thriving power. I love to use the trees as an example. Well, do you know all the trees are connected? You know they talk to one another through signals and signs, and hey, do you know that humans' purest potential is that we could speak telepathically to each other? Like, facts. Why do you think when two people have been in a relationship for so long, they don't need to talk to each other? No. They feel each other's energy. The connection is there. It's real. That's why you don't need to be in the same room with somebody and telepathically speak to them. How many times did you think about somebody and then all of a sudden your phone rang? I'm not the only one that happens to. Because literally, that's what I do. If I want to talk to somebody, hey. And next thing you know, they call. Literally. We're all connected. We are. Energetically. And we're all connected to this vast power of the universe, which makes everything possible. Even your bodily functions. So, you're either using this power and creating survival out of thought, or you are using this power to create and evolve and grow as an individual. Because that's what it's meant for. Just like the same power you were born with, that taught you how to crawl, taught you how to roll over, taught you how to take your first steps, taught you how to do whatever it is you do. Well, you woke up today, you still got it. You know that saying about you can't teach an old dog new tricks? That's bullshit. Because I'm an old dog and I tell you I'm learning new tricks every day. Okay? Fueled by the power of what is fueling me. Many people can deny the power that's fueling them and stay stuck in survival mode created by their own thoughts, which create their own reality. So what are you creating as your reality? Because it's your thoughts, your words, and your actions that are actually creating your reality. It's not another person, place, thing. Nah, it's called self-accountability for what you're creating in your life. Literally. Well, I'm self-accountable. And I'm accountable to what's giving me life. And that was a great question too that I mentioned that before and somebody asked me, Tobi, why are you accountable to the power that gives you life? You know why? Because I windowed for more time. In ICU, when I did die, I asked for 10 years of more time to correct it. Well, this year I'll make 14 years since then. So it's all a part of my contract to stay alive on the planet. And everybody thinks, you're crazy. No, I know what's real. And I know why I'm here. And I'm contracted in my soul to do exactly what it is that I'm doing. Shift the mindsets of many. Teach them about what's humanly possible instead of what they believe to be. Yeah. I am the poster child for shouldn't have been here. Who gives a shit? Suivant next. That chapter's done. See what I mean about bouncing back from things and maneuvering through life with your truest power? Literally, there is not a situation, a circumstance, or scenario that I cannot dive into wholeheartedly and know the power of my being within it all. This is my point of coming out and doing what I'm doing. Speaking about the power of possibility, because everybody seems to have forgotten what they can make possible for themselves. So I'll remind everybody of that. By being the living proof of it all. Literally. Anyway, guys, I love you all. I had to come out and give a little rebuttal and a ramble and a whatever, like I was told it is. But guess what? It's all love. I want everybody to be in their power the same way I am. Why wouldn't I want that? You know how everything would be so much different if everybody was walking around confident and in love with life? You know how different that would be? Well, imagine it to be like that. Because I am. Literally. Guys, and I'll mention while I'm out here, go get that new ebook that I just published. Alpha E-Mind Mastery. Empowering Emotional Mastery. If you guys want to master your emotions, understand your triggers, what triggers your innate emotions to things, and why you have flashbulb memories, and how to cope with all of that, and how to rewrite the negative emotions that you have stored inside those emotions, that book is an essential for you. Yeah. Well, you can get it on lulu.com in the bookstore. But that's a life-altering experience for you that, is worth the investment in your own being. Literally. And it's, that book is unlike any book I've ever published or put together. Yeah. This is a game-changing, life-altering experience for anybody who decides to plummet into that book. But hey, high five from far if you're looking to master yourself, because I tell you, there's nothing like it. From when you center and master yourself, I tell you, there's nothing outside of you that can rock your boat. Nothing. Yeah, we all feel things, but it's, as soon as you start to feel something, you need to stop what you're doing. and put the focus on what it is that you're actually feeling. And assess it and analyze it and take the learning from it. And make sure that these feelings that you're getting are not throwing you out of whack, out of balance, out of harmony, and out of your own power as an individual on the planet. Don't get stuck settling for stuff that you shouldn't. You shouldn't settle for anything but feeling great, amazing, deserving, loved, because we're loved unconditionally for this experience and given the free will. Free will. Do whatever you want and you're loved during it all. Imagine that. How lucky are we? But are you flowing in alignment with that? And getting the most out of it? And mastering your own being, which you're capable of? It's all a simple choice. Mere simple choices. And I'm so sick of people telling me, oh yeah, it's easier said than done. Okay, get out of the victim mentality. Get out of the poor me pity party. Because you're telling that to the wrong person. You know how tired I am of hearing people say, oh, I can't. Oh, I can't. Yeah, right. Bullshit. If I sat there doing that, I wouldn't be alive. Own your power. What power? The same power that operates your whole body. The same power that's giving you life today. The same power that you're connected to innately all the time. The same power that you and I both have. I'm no different than anybody on the planet. The only thing that makes me different is my free will and my choices. Just like yours. Why would anybody choose to feel powerless? Why would anybody choose to feel unworthy? The universe thought you were worthy enough. The universe thought you were deserving enough. Or you wouldn't have opened your eyes today. Because factually we die every night. Death doesn't exist. So, let's get real with that too. Death does not exist. Literally. Maybe the cycle of a life experience will end. But death does not exist. Literally. This is like a never-ending story. And you know what the biggest shift is? And you know why people have to get into their power? Because if you don't, and you end your experience, and you've lived a karmic life, and you haven't stepped into your power, and been able to function out of unconditional love that's fueling you for the experience, well then that's when you're going to have to come back and repeat the cycle karmically until you break that karmic loop. So let me drop it like it's hot today. Yeah. Are you stuck in a karmic loop of life? Because if you're not functioning from unconditional love and the power of that, you as an individual and your soul will be karmically caught in a karmic loop until you get it right. Because that's the joy of this never-ending story too. That you have to come back and do it again with the same people until you get it right. And what's getting it right? Operating from your highest power out of the unconditional love that's fueling you for this experience. So the love that's fueling you and fueling your organs and fueling your whole experience. You need to run in that power, in your being, fully. There's no shame, there's no blame, there's no guilt, there's no sadness, there's no denial, there's no judgment, there is no non-acceptance, there is no grief, there is no suffering in that power. All of that stuff you do to yourself. Well, why are you doing that to yourself? Is that what you truly believe you deserve? Because the universe doesn't believe that. And that will shackle you to survival. I personally am not coming back to this experience to be caught in any karmic loop ever again. I'm done with that. I've stepped into full power, unconditional love, and the power of that, and that's what fuels me. That's what makes all my organs work. Well, it makes your organs work too. You and I are no different. If this power makes you possible, it makes all of your functions in your body possible, why would it not make anything else possible for you? Literally. If you think differently, well, then you're in complete denial about what's fueling you. And that's not okay. This year, guys, power up. In every sense of it. You see, and you know what breaking the karmic loop is? Choosing unconditional love for yourself. And loving yourself to that capacity. So that you break free of the karmic loop that generations and generations and generations have had to come and try to figure it out. Well, I personally have broke that karmic loop for my whole ancestry and for all of those coming after me. There will be no reinstallation of any karmic loop. I hope and pray you do the same for you, because you're worth it. And you know what? If you think your life has been bad, enjoy coming back to do it again if you don't decide to step into your power, because that's what's going to have to happen. And everybody thinks I'm nuts. Let it be like that. But I won't be here again. I'm graduating this round completely. My life cycle's done. You know how many lives I've come to do this shit for? Many. Well, I'm about to get the most out of my life experience for whatever's left, because this is going to be my last life. But you got to do it over and over and over and over again until you can master it all. You can do that. It's a mere choice. But be so self-aware that everything you think, say, and do, you actually realize what you're creating for yourself. And what kind of power is fueling every thought, word, and everything that you do. Because that's the same power that's functioning your whole body. Every single thing. So what are you doing with it? Are you fueling thriving, just like your body does for you naturally? Or are you destroying that by choice? Ask yourself that. Fuel yourself just like the power of the universe does for thriving. Except nothing but the most natural way of being is to thrive. Don't accept anything but that for yourself. It's a mere choice. Oh, but I gotta live this. Oh, but I gotta live that. Oh, but I got... No, you created all that shit for yourself. So the same way you created it, the same way you can fix it. Yeah. Self-accountability. Anyway. Guys, I hope you get the most out of it.
Eric.
Hope you get the most out of it. Daily. With the same power that's given you life. You woke up today? Well, today, guess what? You're loved. You got the power to make anything absolutely possible for yourself. You can create anything that you want. Don't run from your power. It's given you life. Simple. I love you all. Set that high vibe. Have a great weekend. This is a magical year, eh? Embrace the magic in you. Because you've got it. You and I have the same thing. But what makes us different is our choices. Well, I choose to never again, in any experience, feel powerless, feel shameful, feel blameful, feel judgmental, feel none of that within my being. Because I know that produces destruction. I had to live it to learn it. I had to die to be the way I am. Okay? Negativity, yeah, it killed me. But the love fueling me brought me back. Simple. Don't choose negativity. You do, you're killing yourself. You choose to sit there and speak negatively about your own being? That is a total contradiction to how you're being fueled. You want to sit there and tell yourself you're sick? That's a contradiction to the thriving power that heals you. You want to sit there and tell yourself you're sad, you're mad, you're this, you're that, nah. All that shit you're talking, erase that from your vocabulary and start telling yourself that you love yourself, that you're okay, that you're thriving, that you're healing. So as much shit as you can talk about yourself, replace all of that. Replace it. You're going to feel the difference. Of course, it's going to feel different at first because you've conditioned yourself to believe the shit you've been telling yourself. Wow. Stop telling yourself destructive things. Why amplify you not being okay? To me, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. The only sense it makes to me is that people get addictive to the negativity that they create in their own body. Okay? Just like people get addicted to the wellness. Yeah. How do I know? Because I was addicted to negativity, brought me to death. Okay? Because that's all I knew. Well, now I'm addicted to this power of thrival, of thriving. This is the best high that could ever be on the planet, is the power of your being. Literally. I love how it tastes, I love how it feels, and I love how it pushes me. And I love how it guides me, and I love how it heals me, and I love how it is truthful. And it's the power of the all-knowing, and it knows better. Wow, it's fueling you too. You can make anything possible for yourself. But you really got to start by making a commitment to your own being, not to put your own being down, not to command negative things into your body, because you're forcing it to happen. Literally. You know how sick I am of hearing people tell me that they don't feel good or this, they're this, they're that, they're whatever, but they're fucking doing it to themselves? Literally. I'm to the point where literally I'm at the point asking people, do you want a box of Kleenex with that? Literally. Because not only are they doing it to themselves, but they're commanding and insisting it to be like that. Well, they're not going to get the attention from me that they want because let me blow up that belief system. And I do. But it's really, really disgusting to watch people feel the way they do because they insist on creating it to be like that. And then, oh, well, I can't do any better. Yeah, right. You created it to feel like this. You created your own body to feel like this. So if you did it to yourself, you can fix it within yourself. Isn't that common sense? But I guess a lot of common sense is not that common anymore. They should start calling it rare sense now. Literally. Understand that whatever you're living and whatever you're feeling, you're creating it to be like that. There's no person, place, or thing that's doing anything to you. Absolutely nothing. You're doing it to yourself. So be self-accountable to your own being and decide to make better choices and command better things into your life as of today. Why would you wait? Makes no sense to me either. When you know better, you do better. Especially when all the help is handed to you and you know how much free help is out there now online? Free. How do you think I've learned? You think I come from a situation that I've got loads of money to spend in all kinds of learning? No. But I go where the learning is accessibly there, free. And I get the most out of it by my own choice. Knowledge is power. Why would I want to stay powerless? I don't. And I'm forever grateful to be in my full power. And I would love for everybody else to be in theirs. You know, 80% of the population is walking around not even knowing what's fueling them. Believing that they're shackled to some situation, circumstance, or scenario that's crippling them. Time to wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up to the power of possibility. Wake up to what is fueling you. Wake up to what is giving you life. And use that power for your benefit, not for your destruction. Command good things. Command healing in your body. Command wellness. Command balance. Remove the fear. Remove the threats. When you know your power and what you can make possible, well, the fear diminishes to the greatest capacity because I don't hold any fear. None. Bring it on. I know death doesn't exist. And what is man's biggest fear is death. And what happens after? Well, guess what? I've died. Huh? I don't fear death. I actually can't wait to go back there when this experience is done. Because that is in my truest, fullest power. Because I'm very limited in this experience by being in my physical body right now. Literally. So.
Front door.
Okay? Simple as that. Guys, my phone's going off. I got the door ringing. I got all kinds of people reaching out. I guess the universe is saying, okay, Toby, you're needed here. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Get the most out of your experience. Tap into your power. Trust it. Don't tell me you don't have it because you woke up today. Now it's time to really come out here and let people feel the effects of listening to my lives. The real will come. The real ones that want the power back within their own being will come. And they'll get the most out of their lives. And they'll get the most out of the resources that I'm pumping out into the world. So they can get the most out of it. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.